What's up, guys? Today we are here at Massive Speed System in Spring Grove, Illinois with Carl, and today we are going to cover a strut bar install on a 2012 and newer Focus model. This particular one is an ST. See our awesome ST badge there. So Carl, first we want to start off with jacking it up, getting it up in the air.
Alright, first thing we're going to do, get this open. You can always remove this little tonneau cover thing. It just kind of pops out. It's just going to make it a lot easier to get everything in and out of here. Set that aside. We're going to pull the carpet naturally. Same deal, just kind of slides right out real easy. Sometimes not so easy. There's no spare tire in this car, but normally if you did have one, you could take it out, give you a little bit more room to work. You're going to remove these big giant foam things. Set those aside. And next we're going to want to get rid of this subwoofer. It's going to impede our ability to get these carpet pieces out. And that's really the next main step, is getting the carpet out. Okay, first things first, to get this subwoofer out, we're going to get 3 10mm nuts out of there. You got 2 on the bottom and 1 here on the side. And then the entire thing comes out as a unit. There's an electrical plug here on the bottom. You just unplug that, it comes out. Okay, next step to get these carpet pieces off is we're going to have to remove most of these plastic pieces, including the C-pillar, this upper piece, and this side piece. Okay, so we're going to remove these 2 T25 Torx screws. First we're going to start by pulling this panel, and you just kind of pull it off. It's clipped onto this other panel here. You're going to pull that one down as well. And then you're going to pull this one. All this stuff just clips on. And the fact that we loosened those Torx screws before allows us to get this last piece out. Now that we've got that all out, kind of move the seat forward, and this will allow you to slide this out of the way. It never comes off completely, but you can get to the carpet now. Now we got all that stuff out of the way, leave the carpet in for now. What we're going to do next is remove the 2 studs from the factory shock mount. We're going to put in our longer bolts that come with the kit. We're going to keep tightening them until we kind of feel that they're a pressure against the back of the carpet. That's going to let us know where we need to make our holes for them to protrude through the carpeting. You can use something as simple as a blade to make those holes. So let's get these bolts out of here.
All right, so what we have here is one of the old studs that came out of the strut and one of the new bolts that comes with the kit. You may get lucky and have the stud come out with the nut like this one, but you might have to put 2 nuts on there and pull the stud out like that if the nut comes off on its own. So you can
even use a 3/16 socket on the end of the stud too if you couldn't get it out of there.
Okay. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we have one of the new bolts in from the kit and we have one of the studs left, so we'll show you that now. So we have our old stud there that we need to pull out still, and then the new one like that. That comes with the kit. So we just got to pull the second one out and then run the new one in.
Alright, we're going to put in our new shock mount bolts. Be sure to run the split lock washer when you do. 13mm socket. Now we're just putting this in until you put a little bit of pressure against the carpeting. We don't want to torque it all the way in there because we still have to cut a little hole in the carpet. You could probably just hand tighten it for now until you start to feel the carpet put a little pressure on it. Okay, there it is. Once we get it tight enough, we'll go on the top side and cut it out. Okay, we're back now. I can feel the top of the bolt poking into my carpet, so I'm just going to grab a razor blade, make a kind of an X, and there you go, our stud's poking through. Perfect. And now that we have that done, kind of pull it back up, this piece of carpet can come out.
So once you get the carpet off, as you can see, there's going to be a harness and this black plastic clip. There's 2 zip ties here, so we're going to cut those zip ties and pull this plastic piece out. So once we got our clip off, now we can go back into the wheel well where Carl is, and we can tighten up these bolts here.
Now we're going to set in our spacer block. You're going to want to put the curved side here towards the harness, that way we don't have any wires chafing or anything. Move the harness out of the way a little bit, get her to sit nice and flat, and you're good to go. Alright, now that we got the block on, we're ready to start putting the carpet back in. Alright, now time to get these plastic pieces in.
So one of the things to keep in mind when you're putting all these trim pieces back in is to make sure that the trim goes underneath the weather seal here, all the way up. So now that we're all finished up on this side, you just have to do the same thing on the opposite side, which as you can see we've already done. And then we can grab the bar, which is the next step, and chuck that in.
Alright, got our bar ready. We've always put the sticker on the back side of the bar. You wouldn't think immediately looking at this bar that there is a front and a rear, but there is. These holes are actually offset just a little bit. So when you're putting in this bar, always put the sticker facing towards the rear of the vehicle. In order to get it in the car, it's a little bit of a dance. I like to fold down the seat, makes it a little easier. You just kind of got to angle it in there, set her down. Okay, for this part of the install, we're going to need the 4 serrated nuts and 4 flat washers. Now to tighten these suckers down, we're going to want to use a 12mm wrench. You really cannot fit a socket wrench in here because there's not enough clearance, so I like to use a ratcheting wrench. It's a 12mm. You really got to be careful not to scratch up your beautiful new finish too. Some people might put a little tape on there. I like to do it in stages, you know, tighten one down, tighten the other down. Makes it nice and even. Okay, we've got all 4 of these bolts torqued down now, and for some of you, your installation is essentially complete. You're going to put your carpet and stuff back in and you're ready to go. We offer the option to simply plug up these 2 holes with the included little cap plugs. You just push them in and you're done. You're ready to go. If you want maximum effectiveness on this bar, maximum rigidity, we give you the option 2 more attachment points. So at this point, we're going to detail the installation of those additional attachment points. Okay, so we're ready to add some more holes here and here. Now the right way to do this is use a magic marker, make a little dot, pull this bar off, pull all the plastics back off, drill your holes. I know none of you are going to do that. So we're going to do it the way that's really going to happen. You're going to take a 5/16 drill bit and you're going to use this bar as a drill guide. Yes, be careful. Don't scratch your powder coating. Let's get to it. All right, we're ready to put these bolts in. We're going to grab one of these low head bolts as well as a flat washer for the inside of the car. To install, you're going to need a 5mm Allen key. In this case, we've got a 5mm Allen socket on a ratchet. Just so happens to be the world's longest one. You don't need to have it this long. We're not actually threading into anything, but it's just kind of catching the side of the hole. All right, now that we got those in there, we're gonna go on the back side and we're gonna install another flat washer and our serrated nut.
So you're gonna wanna lower the shock boot so you get access to the bolts up there, and then you just put your 2 nuts on and torque them down.
Okay, now that you got your nuts on from the back side, we're gonna finish up the torque. There's about a 1/2 inch of carpet and padding in there. You don't need to go crazy torquing this down. To compress all that carpet, you're not doing anything but smashing the carpet and maybe bending the heck out of the car. So just give it a nice torque, but good and tight is good enough for me.
Alright guys, and just a side note, if for any reason, say you go on a road trip or something like that, you want to pull the strut bar out to get a little more space in the hatch. We do include these washers here, these 4 washers. So you can pull the strut bar out and you basically take these washers, put them over the tops of the holes, and then you can put your nuts back on it just to hold these brackets in place so you don't have to go take everything apart again to get those brackets out. So kind of a nice piece to include with the kit. So just keep that in mind when you have 4 extra washers.
All right, we got the bar in and we got all the interior back in. The last step to do is put these little beauty covers on top of the studs. Just kind of covers it up, gives it a more finished look, and prevents you from snagging your hands or, you know, whatever luggage or whatever the heck it is you're trying to carry. So that's basically it. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could say that Massive raised the bar with this product. It's about the finest thing you could do to stiffen up the rear of your chassis. Picks up not only the shock tower, but also the actual shock mount. You got 4-point attachment. That big block in there is really gonna impart all the stresses into the entire bar, not just these 2 little spindly, you know, standoffs. So that's it for me.
Alright guys, so that's going to wrap up the strut bar install on the Focus. So I know it's not our typical type of video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, either go to massivespeedsystem.com or hit me up in the comments. Thanks for watching.